What is your religious faith, and do you believe that faith is required to be president?
I was brought up in an entirely secular household. My parents immigrated here and then met as graduate students, and I can't remember them ever talking about their own faith as a kid. I had many Christian relatives, and so we spent some holidays in church services. And then I met my wife, Evelyn, and she's Christian, and so we're bringing our boys up in the church, so we now go to church as a family. Every weekend I'm home, which unfortunately now is not that many weekends for me. I always had this native belief in a higher power or God, or that there was something driving us. I always had this deep sense of right and wrong. And I think that sense of right and wrong was actually driven by a lot of the comic books and science fiction novels and whatnot I read as a kid, where they're like good guys and trying to do something positive. So when people ask
The
my
new
faith,
Bible, in other words.
no. The church that we belong to is very progressive. They got a rainbow flag up front. Certainly, I'm very excited to have my little boys in that kind of environment, because I can see that they love it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean, your guys only 6 months, but I mean, I guess you guys.
Well, we're
have some time
secular.
before.
We
Yeah,
are
it's-
from
but
a
it's-
Jewish background, but
It's definitely a question because my parents were pretty Orthodox, but I'm not. So now I wonder, how do you still do the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Well,
do you think that faith is required to be president? Because to at least what's publicly known, that there's never been a secular or atheistic or agnostic president. They've all, and it seems that candidates are touting their piousness these days as a requirement.
I certainly don't think it should be a requirement. I mean, if you look up, millions of Americans self-identify as non-religious or atheist, and I have friends who are some of the best human beings I know who don't observe a particular faith or religion. Some of them have even gone so far as to set up their own type of community of humanist beliefs, where you can have very, very deep values and love and not be part of a religious faith or community. So I don't think it should be a requirement at all. If anything, I think we're somehow stigmatizing people who weren't brought up in a religion as somehow being less moral than others, which I don't believe that for a second. Again, some of my best friends that I admire the most are people that don't participate in any religious community.
The freedom dividend.
I'm sure that would be a great thing, in a press conference.
Well, look, atheism, agnostic, non-religious people is actually the fastest growing group of, well, if you want to say religious, category of people, right? So I do think that non-religious people don't feel represented in this country in many ways. So I think it's important.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah.
And as president, I will be very proud to represent non-religious Americans.
God bless. In a non-ironic, or I guess ironic way.